Hello, welcome again here to the SurvivalWorks blog. Today we're going to take a look at some different tinder materials. This is the kind of stuff that you're going to need to take a coal from a friction fire, whether it's a hand drill, whether it's a bow drill, and to turn it into flame. You don't necessarily need this stuff to build a fire if you have matches, if you have a lighter. This is the kind of stuff that takes a coal and turns it into a flame. So just a kind of a distinction. When you get that dust from a friction fire, like you've seen in some of the earlier blog posts there, it's small. It's a very delicate kind of creature. You can't just put sticks on it and have it turn into flame. So you need some kind of material like this. So what do we have for options out there? In the woods, there's really kind of endless options, and it's good to know lots of choices because you're not going to find each one in every place you go to. You're going to find something in every place you go to, but not necessarily the one you were looking for. So again, focus on principles of the types of materials. It needs to be very dry. I have different materials here that are all ready to go. This is inner bark. That's a whole category in and of itself. So you've all seen trees, I'm hoping, in life, or else I'm not sure why you're watching this video. Walk up to a tree and you touch it. That's the outer bark of the tree. Beneath the outer bark of the tree is the inner bark. Some trees' inner bark is more fibrous than others. So this is basswood. It's a tree some of you may have in your area. Look for it. It's great stuff. You can shred this up and get it into a very fine kind of nest and be able to drop a coal in there. Here's another type of bark, also an inner bark from the cedar tree. And this is a little bit finer, a little bit more soft, probably a little bit easier to use than this, but it's okay to combine stuff too. So this is cedar bark. This is birch bark, and this is not an inner bark. This is actually peeling from the outside. So not all birch trees do this, but look around in your area for this kind of peely bark. And if you are going to harvest it, just be careful of how you harvest it so that you're not injuring the tree. But birch bark can be used in tinder bundles really well. You can kind of see it's much more woody than this stuff. So when I'm using birch bark, I'm going to shred it up a lot, get it down, and it's probably not going to be the center of my tinder bundle. I'm probably still going to try to find something to go where the coal actually plows. But it's going to be an awesome additive to stick into my tinder bundle. Here we have some cattail down. This is if you live anywhere near water and you get to the edge of even ditches and stuff, but wetlands, marshes, cattail kind of looks like a hot dog on the end of a stick. It's an amazing plant for lots of reasons, but this is the down. Interestingly, you could drop a coal. You see how fluffy it is? You could put a coal in there, and this will get bigger and bigger as far as like a red ember, but it really never ignites of its own accord. So it's an awesome coal. We call it a coal extender. But you need to add something else. So you could put these two together to get what you're looking for. Here we have some leaves, and these were collected off the ground because down here on the ground everything tends to be much wetter. So these were off the ground. Make sure they're dry. You can hear that they're dry. And again, you know, give them some surface area. Take some time to crush them up and make a little nest. Because they're so... the tendency is for them to fall apart. It's good to have something to hold that all together. So you could take something like this and make another bundle out of here. This is a goldenrod, and goldenrod's heads, you can see that there's twiggy stuff. This twiggy stuff's no good for a tinder bundle, so you got to get rid of any of that stuff because that's going to put the coal out. But this stuff up here at the top, the little sort of seed pods, you can pull that off and end up with a material that you could drop a coal in there, and again, you're making like a little bird's nest deal, and you could put a coal in there and get that to come to life. You could add things together, make little tinder bundles. This is a piece of a mushroom, and there's different mushrooms all over the place wherever you live, and one of them is going to work for you, so you can do some experimentation. This one is from a fungus called chaga. The outside doesn't look this color, the outside's black, but anyway, here's a piece of lit chaga right over here. I'll blow on that. But let me just show you how easy this lights. So there you go. I just touched this one to a lit piece. I don't know if you can see that, but it has taken a coal already, and If this was a piece of wood, that would be out already, but the porousness of this fungus allows it to hold a coal. So this is a very different style of tinder. Basically, instead of using the fibrous-y stuff, we're using the porousness of this. And again, see, it's still lit. So let's give it a go. Let's take a little chunk off of here. Just like that. And you know, try out some of our tinders. Cattail. Drop it in there. Look at that, a lot of smoke. You think it's going to burst into flames, but instead it just keeps burning and smoldering. You need to add this to something else. So again, you know, we could put this over here with the birch bark. Maybe not. What's it want? It wants something a little more fibrous in there. I didn't shred the birch bark up all that much, so let's see what happens if we throw a little cedar into the mix. There we go. And then, if you like fires, you just start adding everything on top. Woo-wee! Get out your venison and a little skewer stick. Put some on there. And, well, actually, we'll focus on cooking on another time. So, yeah, thanks again for joining us on the SurvivalWorks blog, and we'll see you again soon.